I broke through the carbonate, that's how I got free. Jabba back off because there's no stopping me. Postmodern player, sample-tastic, flows ekphrastic. I get drastic, hey, watch the plastic. Yo, I name check and leave you drastic.
Welcome to the MacGuffin Podcast, episode 138. I'm Spencer.
I'm Greg.
And we're back in black.
Yeah.
Boom.
I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but...
Little AC/DC reference.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
other than that, I don't know what we're back in black from. Did we leave
Back
black?
we were blue last time, now we're black.
Okay,
We're
fine.
matchy-matchy.
Okay.
That's how we roll.
Okay. Next week, yellow. No.
That'd be a stretch. I probably could do that, actually. I have a yellow t-shirt.
So do I.
We are here for our DVD rundown for the week of April 24th, Tuesday, April 24th. Kind of a rough week for DVD releases. So
This is one of those weeks that I think we can collectively agree we're glad we've changed it to the rundown rather than our picks, so that we don't have to blatantly lie to you about horrible things that we don't care about.
We never blatantly lie, but we really had to dig deep sometimes. So this is not quite that bad. The first one to talk about is a film that was released earlier this year, actually. Contraband, the Mark Wahlberg starring film.
Tells you something if it was released earlier this year and it's out on DVD already.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, things come out pretty quick nowadays.
I like to imagine earlier this year is last month.
It was January. I reviewed it, actually. You can read my review on the site. It was blah. It was okay. Not great, not bad. Kind of a blah film with kind of a blah release on video. I mean, you thankfully have
kind
the
of tells you something about the...
I mean, thankfully you got the Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy, ultraviolet release, which is cool. That's cool. Yeah. But in terms of
do everything they can to get you to watch the movie. Please watch it. That's
in terms of special features, it is weak sauce. Yeah. There's deleted scenes, a making of segment. Don't even call it a featurette, which makes me sad.
Which means it's like 10 minutes.
And then you have a feature commentary by director Balthazar Kormaker and producer Evan Hayes, which is kind of worthwhile because this film is a remake of I think it's a Swedish film or something like that, which Balthazar Kormaker either directed or was in.
Oh, okay.
I think,
interesting.
I think it was.
So that at least would be somewhat interesting to see
Mark
what caused
Wahlberg,
him to transfer.
Nowhere to be found.
What would he say?
I don't care, but
hi to your mother for me.
If I'm buying this release, I want Mark Wahlberg to say something on it.
You just want him to pop in the commentary.
I don't care yet.
Say hi for your mother for me, and then pop right back out again. Right?
Marky Mark, Funky Bunch. I don't give a shit. Something's got to be there. Something's got to give.
What's happening? No.
Very sad release.
Yes.
Sadly, not the saddest release of all.
No, not at all. Actually, sadly, the saddest part is that it's probably the biggest release of this week.
Yeah.
That's probably the saddest
one tier.
Yeah.
The next one we want to talk about is a film called Dark Tide.
Yes.
You may or may not have heard this. This is the Halle Berry film. Was briefly released on VOD, I think, in early March, and then limited release on March 30th. Probably nobody's heard of it. It has Olivier Martinez, who's her lover in real life, in it as well. And this is basically direct-to-video. Let's be real. This is basically direct-to-video. Halle Berry direct-to-video. Never a good sign. Never a good sign. But this is the story of a shark expert whose business has been failing since a shark attack killed a fellow diver under her command.
That's a real movie?
She is haunted by memory of the attack and unable to get back into the water. When bills pile up and a foreclosure is threatened, she leads a thrill-seeking millionaire businessman on a dangerous shark dive. Outside the cage. Needless to say, things she accepts and things happen that aren't
Nothing is more believable than the idea that Halle Berry would be like a shark diving scientist.
Listen, Halle Berry swimsuit. That is how they sold this film. I am absolutely
They were like, remember that Bond movie where she was in a swimsuit and everyone cared? Well, now you can just get it at home.
She's still pretty hot. Okay,
well, I'm not saying she's not, but that's not enough to sell a movie.
But sadly, you know, this definitely
obviously it was enough to sell a movie.
This sort of reminds me of Trespass.
Yeah,
the Nicolas Cage
I actually was going to bring that up when you're talking about video on demand. I'm like, come on, it's the Trespass. It's the most. Yeah.
And sort of like we might get into this at a later date, but what does it mean to your career as an actor when you're starting to have your stuff go direct to video?
Yeah,
probably not a good sign.
Probably not.
Sadly, you know, Lionsgate really threw this one under the bus, so to speak. And the only featurette on it is a making of Dark Tide, which I already don't really care about. No Halle Berry commentary, no Olivier Martinez commentary, no director commentary. Like, honestly, like, can we not care? Yeah. Like, really, putting as little effort into this one as possible.
Yeah, phoning it in from the Cayman Islands.
Not to say that I won't rent this at some time. Maybe we'll even have a roundtable about it, because it kind of sounds epic. I'm just saying that right now.
It does sound pretty bad. So, I might even show up for that roundtable. So, you never know.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Yeah. The last one I want to mention
is actually interesting.
It's kind of an interesting one. Not new. And that is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. The series.
Yes, the original British miniseries.
Yes.
Starring
1979. Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
Boom.
Don't even need anybody else there. Alec Guinness.
Yes.
79, so this is Alec Guinness between Star Wars and Empire.
Yeah, that's right, actually. Good call.
Probably the last thing he was able to do before everyone asked him for Obi-Wan.
Yeah. The thing that is interesting about this is the recent film. This was remade by Thomas Alfredson, starring
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman, who was nominated for Academy Award. But the criticism I largely heard was that they cut everything down so much that it was kind of confusing to figure out what's going on. And a miniseries is the perfect place to put a film like that, or a property like that, because you're able to delve into things more deeply.
And I mean, Sir Alec Guinness as your lead on a British miniseries in his heyday. I mean, come on.
Gary Oldman's awesome. Alec Guinness is pretty awesome too. And this is originally adapted in a 7-part series for the BBC. Apparently the US version was cut into 6 episodes, which were slightly shortened, and the narrative was slightly altered. I don't know which one this is for sure. I suspect the US version, sadly, but it's got some cool extra features. It's got an interview with the director, John Irving, which is almost 30 minutes long.
Wow.
Pretty cool. You have an almost 30-minute long interview with John le Carre, who's the writer of the original book, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which is pretty cool.
The series and then the other movie are based off of.
Yes. Then you have, let's see, deleted scenes, a glossary of the main characters and terms, which I think is awesome, especially in a spy series like this. You have a biography of John le Carre, and you have production notes and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Blu-ray. I mean,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray of an awesome old TV show probably doesn't look too bad.
Yeah. So that's a pretty cool thing, you know. I was a little leery about, the film version. This sounds like more the speed of what this project should have been. Much like sort of Traffic. Well, a very good film.
Yes.
There's a mini-series about that as well. That was probably a little bit more in depth on the subject. So, always a good thing. Depth is always good in the book, my book. So that is it for this week. Let us know what you would pick if there's something else you would think would be better.
Please let us know.
If there's something we missed, it was very.
It was buried.
There's some Criterion stuff, not necessarily like A-list Criterion stuff, but Criterion always does good stuff. Let us know at MacGuffinPodcast.com, and join us next week for episode 139, where we talk about Jason Segel in honor of the 5-year engagement, which is boom boom
coming out this Friday.
No spoilers. Yes, that's right. The 27th.
Yep.
Boom. Did the math right in my head right there.
Look at that. I
took a second.
I saw that.
Boom.
Zeros and ones flashing in front of Spencer's eyes.
Binary. But let us know your thoughts about this episode at MacGuffinPodcast.com, Twitter.com/MacGuffinCast, Facebook.com/MacGuffinPodcast. Phone number 323-761-9842. Find us on iTunes, Blip.tv, Miro, Roku. Check in with Get Glue at MacGuffinPodcast.com/getglue. Leave us reviews on our video feeds and audio feeds, and subscribe to both. Hopefully you're getting that mix and mash.
Hopefully by this point you're not so annoyed by our new format and are loving it. You're just loving it like we are.
Let us know what you think of it. And,
tell us how much you're loving it, because we know you are.
Yes.
You're loving it.
Yes. I'm loving it.
No.
Wait,
no.
That's probably copyrighted by someone.
It is. Yes. We'll cut that out.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
T-1000 can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Magneto can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Even Zod can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. It's tight, don't even try to bite the cycle style. Mr. Spock can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. The Wrath of Khan can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. The Borg can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Because I've got space game and it feels alright.